Please be seated. On behalf of Fitchburg State University, welcome to the 122nd Commencement exercises. It is my honor to serve as your Master of Ceremonies. There are over 200 graduate students earning degrees this May, along with over 600 undergraduate students attending Saturday's undergraduate commencement ceremony. The history of Fitchburg State is long and distinguished. On June 6, 1894, the governor of this Commonwealth, Hayden Greenhall, signed legislation which established a state normal school at Fitchburg. The next summer, 46 women passed the entrance examination and became the first graduating class. On July 28th, Governor Deval Patrick signed the legislation which recognized our new status as Fitchburg State University. Today, Fitchburg State University has an enrollment of over 7,000 students and has more than 45,000 alumni. The commencement ceremony combines traditions unique to Fitchburg State University and rituals common to colleges and universities across the United States. At every Fitchburg State commencement, the university's colors, green, white, and gold, are prominent. Each color was chosen to signify an ideal. White symbolizes purity and perfection, green is inspiration, gold represents wisdom. Other university symbols include the saxifrage flower. In 1900, the saxifrage, known as the rock breaker, was chosen to represent the spirit of what was then Fitchburg State Normal School. The flower was chosen for its, quote, moral lesson in the achievements that can be brought about by quiet willpower. The motto, Perseverantia, meaning perseverance or persistence, has remained unchanged for a century and is prominent in our seal. While the university colors and saxifrage are unique to Fitchburg State, other traditions are common to graduations across the United States. Most significant of these is the academic regalia worn by all the participants. The origins of academic regalia can be traced back to the 13th century. At that time, it was the daily attire. Today, it is only worn for ceremonies, but it tells us much about its wearer. Our graduate students wear traditional gowns and carry hoods until conferral of their degrees. All faculty and administrators wear the gowns associated with the university where they earned their degree. Faculty may be wearing black, red, maroon, or blue gowns today. The hood, which is the colorful part of the regalia worn around the neck, indicates the wearer's degree and place of study. Each hood is lined with the official colors of the college or university awarding the degree. The binding identifies the graduate's academic discipline. The length of the hood and the width of the binding increase with the importance of the degree. Each member of the processional also wears a mortarboard or a soft hat with a tassel. Doctoral hats have gold tassels and master's degrees have black tassels. Watch for these distinctions as the processional begins. Each of the groups entering the processional today will be led by a gonfalonier. The gonfalonier carries the banner, or gonfalon, representing that particular assembly. The gonfalon is a long banner that is suspended from a crossbar which originated in the medieval republics of Italy as an ensign of state or office. Gonfalons have been adopted by many universities around the world as college or institutional insignias. As we prepare to welcome the university processional for the start of our ceremony, please note the following. In the unlikely event it becomes necessary to evacuate the building, there are 4 exits, one in each corner of this room. During the commencement ceremony, access to the stage area will be prohibited. A professional photographer will take a picture of each graduate as they receive their degree, and congratulations from President Lapidus. The Alumni Association will provide each graduate with a complimentary 5x7 photograph that will be mailed to graduates' homes, along with information on how to order additional copies. The ceremony is also being recorded by Fitchburg Access Television, and DVDs will be available for purchase. Please note also that the captioning for this event is available on your mobile device through our website at fitchburgstate.edu/captioning. And now, please remain in your seats as we welcome the Fitchburg State University Processional for the 2018 graduate commencement. The graduate students and program chairs are now entering the aisle to my right. They are being led by the 2018 recipient of the Graduate Student Leadership Award, Michelle Downey. The alumni, led by Nicholas Smith from the class of 2011, is entering the aisle to my left. Nicholas is carrying the alumni gonfalon. Beverly Farias, representing the class of 1952, is the most senior alumni in attendance today. 4 of these alumni have earned their degrees 50 or more years ago. Each of the alumni participating today is wearing a yellow stole to represent the Alumni Association. The faculty is being led by Professor Kelly Morgan, recipient of the 2017 Vincent J. Merrill Award for Excellence in Teaching. He is carrying the university mace, which is a symbol typically found at academic ceremonies. Directly behind him, Dr. Teresa Fava Thomas, the 2017 recipient of the Faculty Award for Research and Scholarship, is carrying the faculty gonfalon. Following her is Dr. Chola Chisaka, the 2017 recipient of the Contributions to the Graduate Program Award, and Dr. Elizabeth Gordon, inaugural recipient of the Faculty Award for Service. All of the Faculty Award winners are wearing stoles that commemorate their accolades. Now entering is the platform party led by Mr. Donald R. Irving, Chairman of the Board of Trustees. Chairman Irving will officially confer the degrees on today's graduates. The platform party includes award recipients, honored guests, local elected leaders, Board of Trustee members, and senior university administrators. The platform party precedes Dr. Richard Lapidus, the president of Fitchburg State University.
Mr. President, honored guests, graduates, faculty and librarians, administrators and staff members, ladies and gentlemen, I hereby convene these commencement exercises marking the completion of the 123rd year of Fitchburg State University and celebrating the achievements of the 122nd graduating class. I am Provost and Vice President for Academic Affairs, Alberto Cardelle, and I welcome you to today's celebration. Please welcome the Fitchburg State University Chamber Choir, led by Professor Jonathan Harvey. The Fitchburg State University ROTC members will present the colors. I ask that you please remain standing. Now, please join the Fitchburg State University Choir and the class of 2018 in the singing of our national anthem.
So proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight for the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star
Please be seated. Mr. President, I am pleased to present Mr. Donald Irving, Chairman of the Board of Trustees.
Good evening. Welcome. On behalf of the Board of Trustees and the entire campus community, it is my pleasure to welcome everyone to the 2018 Graduate Commencement Ceremony. Tonight's celebration honors graduates as well as their families and recognizes the singular accomplishment of an advanced academic degree. As the proud holder of 2 degrees from Fitchburg State, I appreciate the journey all of you graduates have taken to get here tonight. You've balanced the challenges of a rigorous curriculum with the demands of family life, and for many of you, a full-time job. Tonight, your journey is complete. At the same time, another journey begins with this celebration as you take what you've learned and you integrate it into your life and the goals that you have set for yourself. I can assure you that the educational experiences that you have received at this university will help you to adapt and prosper in the future. I extend my heartfelt congratulations to you and your families and wish you all the best in the years ahead. Congratulations to all of you.
Thank you, Chairman Irving. Mr. President, I would now like to welcome to the podium the Honorable Dean Tran, State Senator, who brings greetings from the Commonwealth.
Thank you, Dr. Cardell. To the graduates we recognize at this ceremony, I know how hard you have worked and the obstacles you have overcome to attain your advanced academic degrees. I hope you will pause and reflect on the significance of this milestone and remember that as you finish this chapter in your story today, you also start another chapter. I want you to be assured that those who worked on your behalf in the State House know of your importance to the health of our Commonwealth. In the simplest terms, you are the Commonwealth's future. For it is the graduates of our public universities who remain in Massachusetts and form the backbone of their communities. Our state's continued success depends on the best and brightest among us, and that is you. Embrace your success and put your skills to work in your own communities. I challenge you to get involved in your communities, make a difference, and maybe run for office. Hopefully not for mine. We will all be strengthened by your contributions. On behalf of my colleagues in the State Senate and the Regent's legislative delegation, it is my great honor to bring you greetings and congratulations on this grand occasion. Thank you, and God bless.
Thank you, Senator Tran. Mr. President, now I would like to introduce Dr. Aruna Krishnamurthy, President of the Fitchburg State University chapter of the MSCA, who brings congratulations from the faculty and the librarians to the class of 2018.
Thank you, Dr. Cardell. Dear students, families, well-wishers, faculty, and librarians, it is a privilege for me to represent the combined voice of Fitchburg State faculty and librarians and to speak a few words on our behalf. This happy occasion gives me a chance to reflect on my own experience as a graduate student many years ago. And though my particular path into graduate studies may not have been yours, I am sure that we have much in common. It is no exaggeration to say that our identities are shaped in fundamental and enduring ways as a graduate student. we are afforded the opportunity to explore in an open-ended way the many exciting and innovative directions and dizzying heights our research can lead to. Equally, we are advantaged by a sense of camaraderie and ease of exchange with like-minded peers that may lead to long-term friendships and collaborations, both in and outside the classroom. Perhaps the most rewarding experience as a graduate student is the opportunity to interact closely with faculty and share the excitement of new intellectual discoveries and learn important skills for workplace success and for handling the many challenges of life. Added to this list for many of you is the experience of balancing the strain of a full-time job with the work demanded of a full-time student. Challenging as this may have been, you can take pleasure in the fact that your education is the more complete and perfect for this synergy between the two worlds. You have achieved success by keeping your eyes on the stars and feet on the ground. I'm happy to acknowledge that we, your teachers, too, have been educated through your experiences. And through our interactions with you, we have developed a far more expansive understanding of knowledge than afforded by the famed ivory tower of academia. We are humbled by your many hard-won achievements and congratulate you on your successful completion of graduate work at Fitchburg State University. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Krishnamurthy. I would now like to welcome Mr. Eric Gregoire, class of 2011 and president of the Alumni Association, to say a few words.
Good evening, and welcome to all of our honored guests, and most especially to our future alumni sitting before me. As president of the Fitchburg State University Alumni Association, I am proud that tonight we will welcome you as our newest members. You will join an elite group of over 45,000 alumni from coast to coast and around the globe. These graduates have helped pave the way for you today and provide an incredible networking opportunity for you as you transition throughout your career. We are here for you today, and we will be with you in the future as you will forever be Fitchburg State Falcons. On behalf of the Alumni Association, I am also excited to provide you with a small gift. This evening, as you receive your degree from President Lapidus on stage, the photograph that is taken of you will be mailed to you in commemoration of your achievement. We hope that it will serve as a proud reminder of this great accomplishment and will inspire you to stay connected with your alma mater and offer your time and talent to the next generation of graduates that will follow you. Congratulations.
Thank you, Eric. It is now my pleasure to introduce the president of Fitchburg State University, Dr. Richard Lapidus.
Well, good evening, and welcome to Fitchburg State University. We're honored to be joined today by representatives from the alumni who participated in the processional this evening. They represent 6 decades of alumni between them, including Beverly Farias from the class of 1952. Beverly, thank you. Welcome, all of you. In addition to those that participated in the processional, I know that there are many other alumni in our audience today. Some are members of the platform party, including Chairman Don Irving, Trustee Lynn Barrio, Associate Vice President Kathy Canny, and Mr. Eric Gregoire. Some are among the faculty, and others in the audience as spectators. At this time, I would like to ask all of our alumni in attendance to please stand and be recognized. Also joining us this evening from the university's Board of Trustees are Vice Chair Anna Clemente, Clerk Deborah Phillips, Christy Stover, and Student Trustee Abigail Cochran. I ask you to please stand and be recognized. We're also joined this evening by State Representative Stephen Hay. Welcome, Stephen. Would also like to introduce other distinguished members of the platform party. I ask each of them to stand as I read their names. Dr. Laura Bayless, Vice President for Student Affairs. and Dr. Sean Goodlett, Interim Dean of the Library and Academic Support Centers. Those members of the platform party not acknowledged will be introduced later in the program. Thank you all very much for being with us this evening. I would also like to recognize our distinguished faculty that bring out the very best in our students. I know that it means a lot to our students that you're here today, as well as to me, and I ask that you please stand and be recognized. Faculty. Last but certainly not least, I'd like to introduce my wife, Lisa, who's always with me. Lisa, if you would please stand. Thank you. I know that's your favorite part. Well, good evening, class of 2018. Let me begin by congratulating you on your accomplishments. Today is special and represents the culmination of years of hard work, and it's a privilege to be a part of the celebration that recognizes your achievements. While university life may be over for many of you, your education will continue forever. We are pleased that each of you has invested in your future here, believing in the value of higher education. I know that it will serve you well. Commencement is an exciting and emotional time for you and your family, and we are honored that Fitchburg State University has been a part of your growth. As you reflect back on your experience as a student, I'm sure that you didn't arrive here today on your own. There were many people who shared your ups and downs along the way. It might have been a special professor who led you through a rough patch or helped you nurture a good idea, or the sacrifices that your parents, family, spouse, or partner made so that you could walk across this stage today. So graduates, please join me in thanking them for all of their support and give them a well-deserved round of applause. The role of a university is to both educate and inspire, and to help students extend thought beyond what is already known. Faculty members have nurtured curiosity, helped build skills and confidence, empowered creative entrepreneurial thinking, and fostered a sense of civic and ethical responsibility. In sum, you have received an education that will prepare you both now and in the future to pursue whatever aspirations you might have and to make meaningful contributions to better our world. Today, we need students with advanced degrees more than ever. Only about 8% of the American population holds a graduate degree, so you're joining a select group. A recent report by the Commission on the Future of Graduate Education indicated that our competitiveness in the global economy hinges on our ability to produce significant numbers of graduate degree holders, people with the advanced knowledge and critical thinking abilities to devise solutions to grand challenges such as energy independence, affordable health care, climate change, and other issues. One of our greatest resources is our human talent, the study goes on to state, and as a nation, we must invest in educating more of our population at the graduate level to ensure our capacity to innovate and secure our intellectual leadership into the future. Currently, the world is moving at a faster pace than at any other period in human history. We are more global than ever before and experiencing social, cultural, and political transformations, almost all of which are tied together by the power of technology. Given this scenario, problems created by change are also occurring with increased speed and complexity. Thus, we need our graduate students more than ever to work on solutions to some of the world's most challenging issues. As you think about your future and the opportunities that lie ahead, I would like to take a few minutes that I have and talk beyond the traditional ways of thinking about success that we so regularly hear about, wealth, power, prestige, and instead speak about empathy, kindness, and courage, as I think that they will play an increasingly important and powerful role for all of us moving forward. In a book by the educational psychologist Michelle Borba, she notes that empathy promotes kindness, pro-social behaviors, and moral courage, and serves as an effective antidote to bullying, aggression, prejudice, and racism. We find ourselves living today in what many would consider to be an increasingly charged and strained world. We have seen horrific acts of terrorism, economic corruption, and rancor within and between political parties. While empathy and kindness towards others are always worth focusing on, at a time in which many appear to be fixated on fear and division, their emphasis is particularly relevant. As I was thinking about empathy and kindness, I found myself reminiscing about my high school years and reflecting about a particular student. For today's speech, let's call him Jim. At the time, no one was really talking about autism, but clearly Jim, I now realize, was somewhere on the spectrum. He was withdrawn, struggled socially, and most memorably, wore year-round a big, puffy, blue, feather-down coat that he almost never took off. In hindsight, I imagine he was pretty brave, and his parents progressive in their thinking about his mainstreaming into the public school system. As you can imagine, because he was different, he took a fair amount of unnecessary and undeserved abuse, as people can be pretty cruel. I personally was never mean to him, as it was not my nature, but I do remember that it bothered me when others were. Feelings are powerful and long-lasting, and perhaps that's why he came to mind as I was thinking about this topic. It's funny that some 40-plus years later, as the names and faces of the quote-unquote cool kids in my high school have all but faded away, I can still remember Jim's real name, and I could picture him clearly as though it was yesterday. My failing, of course, was that I never defended him, or for that matter, even interacted with him. A smile, simple hello, or how are you doing every once in a while could have potentially altered his day in a significant way, and relieved what I can only imagine was the heavy weight of feeling constantly isolated, lonely, and outnumbered. I'm not going to suggest that being empathetic and kind is just about being nice, and that when you interact with people in such a way, rainbows, butterflies, and unicorns will magically appear. But rather, I am suggesting that empathy and kindness will develop if one considers humanity first, rather than just making an immediate judgment to ignore or discredit someone because of their difference. So in hindsight, why did I avoid Jim? Or why is it that people in general sidestep uncomfortable or challenging situations? This brings me to courage. There are a number of types of courage: physical courage, intellectual courage, and moral courage. I'd like to talk about the latter. Moral courage is the power and willingness to follow a path or belief that one considers to be right and just, irrespective of the cost to oneself. Robert Kennedy once said that for every 10 men who are willing to face the guns of an enemy, there is only one willing to brave the disapproval of his fellow, the censure of his colleagues, the wrath of his society. As it turns out, moral courage is never about you, but rather it's about something bigger. It's a commitment to serving others and the greater good. So again, why do people not meaningfully engage in challenging situations? Sometimes the reasons given are that they believe that there's nothing really wrong, or perhaps they cite procrastination, or it's not my fight. Sometimes it might be explained in the form of an emotional response. They're too angry or full of hate. Some simply answer by saying, it's just too hard. However, the underlying motivation for all of these explanations is fear. We all experience fear, and in fact, it's an important part of life. Courage and fear are not an either-or, but rather a continuum that requires discipline and management. Moral courage is about the willingness to be challenged by adversity, the acceptance of uncertain outcomes, and the strength in the conviction of your beliefs. In the end, we must all realize that life is about choices and the willingness to take risk. That being said, what is it that I'm suggesting to you, and how are empathy, kindness, and courage connected? What I'm suggesting is that you first consider what's important to you, what you believe in, and what you ultimately want to stand for. If the subject or issue is complex, Make sure that you don't base your views solely on what you yourself think or what the popular position is on social media, but instead seek authorities and other credible sources so that you can strongly argue and defend your position. Be open to new ideas, but demand the same high-quality evidence from others that put forward alternative perspectives. Of equal importance are necessary responses to statements or situations that reflect a position inconsistent with demonstrated behavior. For example, if someone or some group states that they stand for equality but don't represent that ideal, challenge them by asking why then for this group but not for that one. Or if someone or some group characterizes themselves as advocates of free speech, ask why then are they limiting alternative points of view? Or maybe it's why are you picking on Jim? Is it just because he's different? Specificity of words and actions matter. Left unchecked, the consequences will be the perpetuation of erroneous beliefs and ultimately undesired behaviors. There's a memorial in Boston inscribed with a quote from the German Lutheran pastor Martin Niemöller that he wrote at the conclusion of World War II, which reads, "First they came for the socialists, and I did not speak out because I was not a socialist. Then they came for the trade unionists, and I did not speak out because I was not a trade unionist. Then they came for the Jews, and I did not speak out because I was not a Jew. Then they came for the Catholics, and I did not speak out because I was not a Catholic. Then they came for me, and there was no one left to speak for me." We must be courageous and raise our voices both for ourselves and, more importantly, on behalf of those that have no voice. And where does kindness and empathy come in? Ultimately, moral courage thrives on empathy and kindness because it allows us to better understand the perspective of others. Without empathy and kindness, neither side will feel as though they are being heard, and the result will ultimately be polarization and conflict. Kofi Annan, the former UN Secretary General and Nobel Prize winner, said, "Ignorance and prejudice are the handmaidens of propaganda. Our mission, therefore, is to confront ignorance with knowledge, bigotry with tolerance, and isolation with the outstretched hand of generosity." Further, he went on to say that we can love what we are without hating what and who we are not. So I ask that you think seriously about the things that you value most. Demonstrate kindness and empathy when interacting with others, and exhibit courage when speaking in support of the issues you believe in and that are most central to you. It has been said among those that are involved in public speaking that there is no pleasure you can give an audience that compares to the pleasure they get when the speech is over. And that moment is almost upon you. So I leave you with one final thought, beginning in the form of a parable from the American writer David Foster Wallace. There are these two young fish swimming along, and they happen to meet an older fish swimming in the other way, who nods at them and says, "Morning, boys, how's the water?" And the two young fish swim on for a bit, and then eventually one of them looks over at the other and goes, "What the hell is water?" Be observant and appreciative of your surroundings, and realize there are infinitely more small things that make up your life than the big things we all seem to be waiting for. Life moves pretty fast, and if you don't stop and look around once in a while, you're going to miss it. Make sure that you find the joy in life. One day in your twilight years, as you're recounting your story to yourself, you will come to realize that success is not measured in years of age, but rather by the good you've done with the time you were given. Make sure that you write yourself a really great story. It is my hope that you will remain connected to the faculty, staff, and to your classmates, and please know that we will always be here to support you and that Fitchburg State University will always be your home. Again, congratulations, class of 2018. It is now my pleasure to present the Graduate Student Leadership Award, and our honoree tonight is Michelle Downey. Michelle came to Fitchburg State after a professional career in academic publishing. In her prior work, she collaborated with our faculty from many disciplines, including education, where she helped the university provide books for children at McKay Arts Academy. The ongoing Read for the Record program places new books in the hands of every pupil at the school. In conversation with our faculty, Michelle said she one day wanted to be a teacher. Later, after having her own children, she decided to pursue that dream through our graduate program in education. To her professors, Michelle is dedicated to learning, teaching, and providing support to her students and her colleagues. She extends a welcoming hand to anyone who needs assistance and is seen as the epitome of kindness and dedication to every individual and student she meets. Michelle graduates tonight with a Master of Education in Special Education, and I invite her now to the podium for a few remarks.
Thank you, President Lapidus, members of the Board of Trustees, faculty, staff, and thank you, Dr. Kardaya, honored guest, and fellow graduates. The world is changing and changing fast. Our professions are evolving daily in response to new technologies and new challenges. As new graduates, it will be up to us to continue to change the world for the better. We all took different paths to Fitchburg State. Mine began by working with professors on how to best meet their needs when I worked in publishing sales. From my sales background, I had the benefit of getting to work with professors from colleges all over the state. I chose Fitchburg State simply because of those professors. They were the best. They advocated for their students, helped foster relationships with colleagues, and ultimately led me to fall in love with teaching. As a student, I am grateful to all of the professors who guided me to my master's degree. On behalf of every graduate student here, so much of what you taught us has already been put to use. Dr. Robert Shapiro, your positive support techniques have been a huge help in responding to challenging classroom behaviors. Jenna Hellenstein, thank you for all of your help teaching students whose first language is not English. Dr. Ruth Joseph, thank you for encouraging me to always differentiate my instruction. And last but not least, I'd like to thank Dr. Nancy Murray. Thank you for your friendship, your guidance, and your belief in me that I could do graduate school while letting my young children roller skate throughout my house. I'd also like to thank my family. To my parents and in-laws, thank you for helping me take care of my kids so I could take my classes, and for your enduring belief in me. To my kids, thank you for playing by yourself so Mama could study. Kylie, I promise to play Barbies with you more, and Caden, I promise to take more shots on you and beat you in Pig. And to my husband, thank you for always believing in me, supporting me, and for being my best friend. I now finally have a full-time paid job. To my fellow graduates, we all took risks when we began graduate education. Most of us have had a lot more on our plates than we did when we got our undergraduate degrees. Congratulations to each and every one of you for getting to this point. Your hard work has paid off. As we move forward in our changing world, remember that one person can change the world by giving people hope. One person can make it better. Take Malaya, the girl from Pakistan, who risked her life to show that girls should be educated too. Thomas Jefferson, Mother Teresa, Abe Lincoln, Nelson Mandela, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., Princess Diana, these people gave people hope, and hope changes people's lives. Our graduate education at Fitchburg State has prepared us for new professional challenges. Now it's our job to give people hope. Use all of the things we've learned in getting our graduate degrees and be that person who changes the world. Thank you.
Thank you, Michelle. Michelle, for your leadership skills, your scholarly contributions, and enduring ambitions, we are honored to present you the Graduate Student Leadership Award. Congratulations. Where's the camera guy? We have now arrived at the time for awarding the conferred degrees. Would the program chairs please begin the processional, and the Innovator Brass will now perform as we prepare for the conferral of degrees. would like to ask that Mr. Don Irving, Chairman of the Board of Trustees, Dr. Kathy Canny, Associate Vice President for Academic Affairs, please join me for the conferring of graduate degrees. Honorable ladies and gentlemen, I present to you these persons who I know to be sufficient in knowledge, according to the customs of the ancient and revered universities, for the degrees of Certificate of Advanced Graduate Study, Master of Arts in Teaching, Master of Business Administration, Master of Education, and Master of Science.
By the authority vested in me by the Board of Higher Education of the State of Massachusetts and the Fitchburg State University Board of Trustees, I am pleased to grant these candidates their certificates of degrees with all the rights and privileges thereunto appertaining.
Would the chairpersons for each graduate program please present the candidates for the following degrees: the Certificate of Advanced Graduate Study, the degrees of Master of Arts in Teaching, Master of Business Administration, the Master of Education, and the Master of Science. I ask that Dr. Becky Copper-Glenz, Dean of Grad and Continuing Education, Dr. Franca Baricelli, Dean of Arts and Science, Dr. Bruno Hicks, Dean of Education, and Dr. John Schomloffel, Dean of Health and Natural Sciences, present the candidates with the hoods that are appropriate to their status and degree so they can be presented to President Lapidus and receive their degrees.
Division of Arts and Sciences, hooding by Deans Baricelli and Copper-Glenz. Master of Arts, degree in History, led by Dr. Daniel Sairfield. Brian Edward Lynch. Chad Richard. Master of Arts in Teaching, degree in English, led by Dr. Chola Chizinski. Nicholas R. Fadden. Master of Science degree in Applied Communication, led by Dr. Vera Lorenzova. Anna L. Griffin. Sarah E. Grover. Nilton Enriquez. Adam Reno. Stacy L. Thomas. Master of Science degree in Counseling, led by Dr. Deneen Deptula. Shannon Gail Brousseau. Jessica Lynn Burris. Molly Ann Delicai. Shannon E. Doyle. Ryan N. Guilfoyle. Christina J. Hitchens. Kathleen Ann Jasinski. Heidi Diane Johnson. Jennifer M. Keary. Justine Elizabeth Marcella. Sharon Seamus Meeser. Justin L. Mertz. Sarah Kathleen Morris. Vanessa Lynn Owen. Division of Business and Technology, Pudding by Dr. Canny and Dean Copper-Glens. Master of Business Administration, degree in Business Administration, led by Mr. Joseph McAloon. Soma Bakshi. Petra Bilan. Nicholas E. Breton. Brandon P. Brito. Drew David Brigner. Brent Robert Carney. Tracy A. Cormier. Douglas Paul Cody, Jr. Pendua Claude Estelle. Scott Allen Fournier. Alicia M. Gaipo. Aquanette Nicole Graves. Mark Christopher Hokinson. Mohammed Akbar Hossein. Shilpa M. Kumaraswamy. Helder Machado. Michelle A. McNeil. Kelly Jane Miller. Trayvon J. Neal. Lawrence Lauretaire Enfor. David Lee Palma. Nicole Primo. Heather D. Pritchard. Verizo Violet Panungwe. Matthew Jordan Ridley. Tammy Susie Burke. Borhan Yudin.
Master of Education degree in Occupational Education, led by Dr. James Alicata. Samuel Mendez de Pina. Roy D. Doucette. Sandy S. Kelly. Tabitha L. Rennie. Master of Science degree in Computer Science, led by Dr. Brady Chen. Parth Kumar Shantilal Davi. Pragnya Jengiti. Piyusha Jahagidar. Lavinya Maridani. Lena Me. Kirtika Yuvarajan. Venkata Jyotsna Varadi. Lakshmi Sharvani Vegesna. Arnika Vishwakarma. Division of Education, Hooding by Deans Hicks and Copper Glens. Master of Education degree in Curriculum and Teaching, led by Mr. Richard Mascherelli. Brian David Brunel. Jason Ciccarello. Jennifer Catherine Fitzpatrick. Megan Gallinaw. Allison Louise Gervais. Christopher Walter Golombeski. Amy Elizabeth Ippolito. Margaret A. Krug. Dana Edward Lamarbe. Meredith Lynn McGrory. Devin Marie Mello. Anne Marie O'Connor. Margaret Marie Stevenson. Brian E. Toomey. Master of Education degree in Early Childhood Education, led by Dr. Lindsay Ben-Harris. Heather Lenore Anderson. Rebecca A. Briano. Shay Marie Hutchinson. Stephanie Catherine Jewett. Amanda L. Mullen. Martha Ann Pochlepek. Kelly A. Scipione. Juliana Lee Stedman. Master of Education degree in Elementary Education. Jacqueline E. Quinn Crowley. Nicole D. Cutting. Brenda Wally Mandela. Master of Education degree in Middle School Education, led by Dr. William Cortesia. Crystal Lynn Dion. Brian John McDonald. Emily Jane Miller. Master of Education degree in Special Education, led by Drs. Nancy Murray, Ruth Joseph, and Ann Howard. Taylor Lynn Card. Katie M. Conklin. Mary Patricia Devine. Sarah E. Domenico. Elisabeth Domnitzer. Andrea Wood Grattan. Barbara Jo Hamill. Caitlin N. Martino. Michelle Downey. Mary Rose Provost. Jessica Lynn Roberts. Caitlin Marie Silva. Brittany Rose Terrell. Division of Health and Natural Sciences, hooding by Deans Schomlaffel and Copper Glens. Master of Science degree in Forensic Nursing, led by Dr. Deborah Stone. Janine M. Fedrick. Carrie Fleming. This concludes the conferring of degrees. Please rise and join Fitchburg State University Chamber Choir in the singing of our alma mater, In Old Wachusett's Shadow.
Graduates, I want to take one more opportunity to wish you the very best as you go forth and change your part of the world. Please join me in congratulating the class of 2018. I think we can do a little better than that for the class of 2018. There you go. Congratulations.
Before concluding tonight's celebration, I'd like to thank all the guests who joined us to be a part of this very special evening. And to the graduates, on behalf of your faculty, chairs, and deans, congratulations once again. We invite all to join us after the ceremony for a reception. The platform party will recess, and we ask faculty and librarians, students, alumni, and guests to remain at your seats until they have departed. I now declare the graduate commencement ceremony in the 123rd year of Fitchburg State University closed and the 122nd commencement completed. Have a good night.